Welcome back to season 2 of Got Her Back podcast.
Hey, girl.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, boo.
I
How are
haven't
you?
seen you since the circus.
Girl, that circus was a fucking red flag. We're going to start it like it's hot. I said the F word. We're already going to put 5 in.
Oh my gosh, that circus. I'm not going to go off on this too much, but I was living my best life. But when I pulled up to the fucking mall parking lot with a tent, I was like, where
I just saw
does
circus.
Megan have me right now? But I'm going to roll with it because I feel like we have fun anywhere we go.
I know.
So I was like, I was tired from work. I drove. I was like, okay,
all the way home
to get Maddie, all the way back. And I'm like, oh.
And then I was an hour off on the time.
But the girls with the crop tops and the denim shorts
and the muscles
and the runners in the pantyhose and the falling off the bowling ball, and
it was a mess. It was a bunch of like acrobat. There was 0 animals.
Why did Megan put us in a sprinkler system?
Hey, it was front row.
We got front row tickets.
I got front row.
There might have been a sprinkler system.
I think in this case we were probably too close. I was just like, I felt like it was just like right in my face.
You're one of those. It's like, oh, I'm front row.
Yeah,
you don't think about like neck pain.
No, we were like this the whole time.
It was awesome.
The kids didn't know any different.
There's only one thing that could have made it better, and I'm not going to say it right now. But I know something that could have made it better. But it was funny because whenever I got home, because we had been texting Gabriel through the whole thing, just laughing. And he's like, okay, like, tell me about it. And I'm like, bitch. It was so bad. It was so fun. Me and Megan were like peeing our pants laughing. Spencer at one point was like screaming and laughing. She loved it so much. Maddie loved it.
Let's just say what this circus was. It was a water circus with no animals. It was just a bunch of acrobats, which, whatever. It just looked like it was like people going in my backyard trying to do a circus. Red flag. Yeah, total red flag. But whatever, we got a date. We got to see each other.
But
the girls had all the things.
It was
light up toys.
It's so funny because
popcorn.
I pull up to the Cybertruck and I roll the window down, and I always try to say something funny right away to Spencer. I'm like, Spencer, are we about to see a lion? And she's like, you're right away. There's no animals. I'm like, oh. I want to see a lion. Whatever's my lion.
I think I just saw circus and was like so excited. Like I'm like, Spency's never been to a circus, so like I'm ready for her to go. But
Maddie had never been to a porta potty, so we broke them both in very well.
It is what it is. When she said she had to go to the bathroom, I'm like, do not let her go by herself. I'm like,
oh, girl,
oh my God.
I never let her go to the bathroom by herself.
Oh,
there's too many weirdos.
Scary.
But we walked outside and she was like, where are we going? Outside? Is the bathroom outside in the parking lot?
What do I do?
And I'm like, you've never been in a porta potty? She's like, what's a porta potty? I was like, okay, come here, baby. So you got to hover like this. Don't you touch anything, and give me your phone because I'm not fishing it out of the blue water. But I had a good time. So that was awesome.
Good. What else has been up?
What else has been up? I'm glad the holidays are over.
Right.
You had COVID.
And strep.
That
was so serious.
You survived?
I did. I was like on my deathbed for like 4 days.
I feel like I didn't talk to you for like...
No. I mean, I was like literally
way to start your new year out with a bang.
Yeah, it was
there, buddy.
It was serious. And it took me days to figure out I had strep. I just was like, this sure is a bad case of COVID. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was a mess.
You love a COVID party.
Girl. I thought I had turned your New Year's party into a COVID party.
I knew that's what you're thinking.
I was like, Carrie,
I'm so like late. I'm like, girl, it's fine. I'll let you know if anybody gets sick. Nobody got sick, by the way. So
I was patient 0 for sure.
We got strong immune systems over there. We walk around barefoot everywhere and eat things off the floor. No, I'm just kidding. No, we kind of do, but we're just building our immune system over here. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say that I haven't been sick.
It is what it is. So you took your Enneagram test?
Yes.
You did?
I retook my Enneagram test. So I love a good personality test. Okay. I love it. I originally came across these whenever I was doing them for all of my girls at work when nobody could get along and nobody was jiving. And I was just like Googling things. It was probably like 6 years ago and came across it. And it was actually one for like corporate or small businesses. And they recommend that you do it so that you can, motivate, you figure out how to motivate them, kind of what their personality type is.
And it also helps in relationships too. I mean, like personal
It
relationships.
helps all the way around.
Like all the way around.
Mhm.
I didn't know what an Enneagram test was. Like I found out during COVID when like Amy Potts and everybody came to my house to see the baby, and that we were all sitting out by the pool one day, and they're like, Megan, what is your Enneagram number? And I'm like, what? What is that? What are you talking about? So like they made me take it, of course.
So let's talk about what all the numbers are.
Okay. What are they?
To touch on these. So we have the reformer.
It's number one.
Number one. So the reformer is the rational, idealistic type, principled, purposeful, self-controlled perfectionist. I know some of those. Two is the helper, the caring, interpersonal type, demonstrative. Oh, shoot. What just happened? Demonstrative, generous, people pleaser, and possessive.
Ooh.
That's me.
That's your number two?
Possessive and a people pleaser.
Or you be a 5.
I know I've switched,
Yeah.
but remember, like I just feel like a lot of things have changed in the past couple of years. You keep saying like, "Ooh, I see you," but and when I took it again, I was like, "Wow, my number's different," but I'm still the wing the other, like
5
the other. And number 3, we have the achiever. So we have the success-oriented, pragmatic type, adaptive, excelling, driven, and image conscious. Or we have the individual. So the sensitive, withdrawn type, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. We have the investigator.
What number is that? 7?
The 5.
Oh, 5.
The investigator. The intense, cerebral type, perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated.
It's a lot of Leos right there. Secretive.
You think so?
For sure.
Do you think I'm secretive?
Not now, because we've been friends long enough. But
I
a
would
lot,
say.
all my friends are like all my closest friends.
That's
Y'all
true.
are all Leos, and some of them are like, I'm like, okay, how long you been sitting on this info that you didn't tell me?
That's kinda
takes you
true.
a minute.
6 is the loyalist. So the committed, security-oriented type, engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious.
That's a red flag. Suspicious.
Suspicious. I think everybody's suspicious. Or we have number 7, the enthusiast, the busy, fun-loving type, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, and scattered.
Okay.
We have the number 8.
Pick me. Am I a red
just
flag?
kidding.
I'm probably like a walking
that's
red
a
flag
joke.
for sure.
That's totally a joke.
Driver.
The powerful, no, this is a good one. The powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational.
That'd be me.
That's you. Number 9 is the peacemaker.
That'd be my sister.
The easygoing. So this is my wing. The easygoing, self-effacing type, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, and complacent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I went to like counseling before and they went off the Enneagram test, because it's like if you can learn what your partner's number is, and like that's just something that, because that's part of their personality type, so that's just normal for them. So then like my, maybe I'm a little judgy, right? So like I'm gonna judge that number and be like, and the counselor's going, no, Megan, like this is normal for them.
You judge people's number?
Well, I judge the characteristics of what that number is, and
The suspicion.
Like it just and just because you're a number doesn't mean you're all of those things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that's your core personality doesn't change.
Yeah.
I do know that, like your core personality, and maybe over time, like your wing might change or whatever, but your core personality is not going to change. I mean, we are who we are. It just is what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that when people get to know you, and when you get to know yourself, I know what I'm good at. I know what I suck at. Like, I know I'm driven. It's a blessing and a curse, right? Because I can tend to be a workaholic. So I know that I'm quick to make decisions. I don't I'm not going to go just window shop at the mall. Like, I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going in. I'm going to
You
get
go,
what I
go
yeah.
in hot.
Yeah, I go in. I may veer and get some more things, but I'm going in with a purpose for what I need, and then I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Like, I might get a massage, and I might get that pretzel and the cookie, but if I'm going for the sweatshirt or the pants that I need, like, I'm just like on a mission.
You're on a mission.
Yeah.
And you're just super driven.
Yes.
Competitive.
Yes.
And when it says confrontational, I don't think you're confrontational. I just don't think you're scared of confrontation.
No.
And I think that you just get everything done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a doer for sure. Like, I'm a doer, but that also is like the anxiety in me too. Like, it's like I just can't stand for it to not be done. So, like, here, if you don't know how to do it, like, let me just do it. Take it off your plate. You know what I mean? Like, which is also a blessing and a curse, because then I'm only one person, right? I can only do so much. I only have so many minutes.
Do you feel like you ever like work yourself into the ground?
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. I've learned a lot more like good, like balance, even just like work-life balance, and then just typical balance, you know, over even in the last 18 months. But I mean, I also
imagine why.
Oh, I know, you know, but I also worked a ton and have an amazing career because I was so miserable in a marriage. So I did want to go home. You know what I mean?
Focus mostly on your career
because my career
to distract you and just to like give you something to do.
Right. And it made me feel good.
I did the same exact thing. And I think that's why we connected so well.
Yeah.
Even though, I think that was a big one, just because we're both like building our businesses, like putting our heads down and work. So we understood like in the day we were busy and all that stuff. We never had that.
Right. You can just like, and I know that like if we don't talk, even if it's for a few days, or like if you go out of town and I don't talk to you, like I miss you, like that I don't get to talk to you for 5 or 6 days, but I know that like you're always going to be there. You know, if I call you or if I need you, I'll be like, pick up the phone, you know, or like I need to like call and then text and
the
be
Santa
like,
Claus emoji,
you know, 911, here we go.
Yeah, that's super true.
But it's, you know, it can be any personality. Like, I don't think there's any right or wrong personality, like, you know, on an Enneagram. It's just like, I just tend to be like better at other things, you know, like I'm a great entrepreneur. I'm not scared to take risk. Like I'm calculated sometimes with risk, but I'm really not scared to take risk. And a lot of my success that I have gotten over the last 20 years of my life is because I wasn't scared to take risk. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to go get a cabin. Okay, I'm going to, you know, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm going to go do it.
You did the whole alcohol company.
Yeah.
And you did it well.
Right, from the ground up.
And you didn't even know anything about it.
No, I had to learn how to do barcodes and get stuff in Walmart. And, you know, that was the crazy, when I look back at how I dove into that was the craziest thing.
That's just a great example of like when you want, like when you put your mind to something.
It became a failure, right? But I learned.
Did it though?
I mean, yeah, we didn't.
Not really. I mean.
Yeah, Walmart like kicked us off the shelves, and I had to sue them, which I probably shouldn't say on this podcast.
But you got recompensated.
Yeah, I mean, it cleared the debt, but it was like 5 years of my life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I traveled all over the U.S. flying and making presentations to grocery stores and alcohol companies, but you know what? I learned so much.
Yeah.
That is a male dominant driven, you know, industry. Right. And so, you know, like it pushed me out of my comfort zone. Going and doing presentations, like with a PowerPoint and all the things that I hated to do, like in college, if it was like you had to do that presentations, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking that class, you know, like, or unless and then I got all the way down to like my last semester and I looked at my schedule and I had 19 hours and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to make presentations. And every one of these, I could tell you, like for my senior year, I did one on Starbucks. Like literally, like I know to this day because it's in like.
From your senior year
of college. Yes, I did. I did it in 1999. I graduated in 2000. Yeah, it was my last semester in 2000.
I didn't even know Starbucks existed in 1999.
Sure did.
I did.
Sure did. And I did like a whole presentation in marketing class, actually, because my degree is in marketing. But.
Wow. You still remember what your presentation.
Because it was like so fearful. I hated public speaking. I hated all the things. So to go in, I mean, I literally would like just be like sitting there shaking like before I'd go into all those meetings. I mean, and hated it, like literally hated it, loathed it. And every time I got on a plane to go do one, I'd be like, why did you get yours? But I was so far in and so far deep that I just
I just got to do it.
I'm like, you can't back out at that point. It's like
you're like, I'm
what
in
are you
it
gonna
now.
do? You know, like you got celebrities backing you, and you got bottling companies, and you know, $1 million orders, and Walmart placed $1 million order, and we had just our bottling company in Dallas had just went belly up, and so I go in there and sell into Walmart and didn't even have a way to bottle it. Like it was crazy. I mean, it was a drink mixer, and I mean, it was just, girl. When I look back, I'm like, whew.
But we were talking about, we were doing a live on social media yesterday with Risa, and she was talking about things like building your business and things like that, and she brought up failure, and I was like, dude, like failure is actually good, and everybody's gonna fail, but most people just get too scared to fail.
Right.
You're gonna fail, but like I just remember somebody telling me, like, just fail forward, like just meaning pick yourself back up and do it again, and you learn something from it,
right?
And then you just keep like it. You're not a failure if you learned a good lesson from it, right? Like there's so many things in business that I failed at that I know now, like I would never do again, but now I know, right? So you don't do those things now, and you cut that out of like your expenses, or that out of your marketing, or that out of your advertising, or whatever it could be. But you're gonna learn, somehow. That's the only way you're gonna learn.
Right. I think right is my word for the day today. I don't know.
What?
That's kind of a red flag. I keep saying right.
Well, you do,
but you are right. If you don't fail, like if you don't take risks, you're not going to give your opportunity to win or fail. You know what I mean? And you have to learn from those failures. I learned so much just about business in general in those 5 years. It was crazy. And at some points I was having to rob Peter to pay Paul just to like make things work. I mean, it was like,
but you probably learned some skills and everything that you use today, like in your business and your relationships
I'm a really
today.
good insurance agent, right? Like, and that's the thing is a lot of people start making more money than they've ever imagined in their life and their career in insurance. And then so you start thinking like outside the box, like, okay, well, what can I do with this money to go make this? And can I hit it big? Well, what I didn't realize is like I could hit it big with insurance. I just needed to double and triple down on what I was doing.
And that's the thing that most people do is they get distracted, like shiny object syndrome, and get distracted, and they just start getting like very like scattered. And I mean, they say like, what do they say? Like you can be a jack of all trades, or like,
and one thing's gonna fail, or at some point you can only spread yourself so like so many. You can't just spread yourself so thin. It's just. That's what it's been.
And if you just know your strengths and you do it really well, and like you said, double down, triple down, whatever on what that is, and you already know how it works, you're not reinventing the wheel. Like, and I feel like that's what you've done in the last few years with the other, books of business that you bought and all the different locations and expanding. And you did it once, and it seemed like so hard when you did it the first time, and I didn't think you were going to make it. I thought you were going to have a heart attack. But now when you do it, I don't really hear you say anything because you've done it. You have your systems, and you're just like doing you're just duplicating what you've already done. You already know.
It's like riding a bike at this point. Like I've got it down. Like and I passed on a couple opportunities. One opportunity came to me just like 2 weeks before I was supposed to close on Office 3, and I could have had Office 4, and I passed on it. And everything happens for a reason, but I was like, well, I need to see if I can do Office 3 before I go, jump to 4. But looking back, I could have done Office 3 and 4 at the same time, or I think I can. I could have, but but also being an 8 and a driver makes me super independent. So like in relationships or a marriage, if I bring that home, it can cause strife in a relationship. Because,
do you think that that's just because you're a woman, or do you think it would be either way? Because I feel like it's more magnified because you're a woman. It makes them feel
for sure
less of a man.
Yeah, inferior.
Like when you're trying to like order their food and.
Well, that's the thing is like what I've learned in dating is like I had it ingrained in my brain for so many years that like, it's kind of treated like a dude. You know what I mean?
I would watch you in your marriage and I would be like, I mean, she's making the decision on the food. She's doing this. She's running that house.
Like,
she's doing this.
Every decision, and it was so exhausting.
And I was like, how? I did the same thing though.
I don't know how I even had any brain capacity, but I want to be submissive.
And we both did it for almost 20 years.
Yeah, and I can be submissive. I've learned that in dating. Like if it's the right person, I can totally be submissive.
I love submissive Megan.
I know. Remember when we were at Kason's game and you were like, oh my gosh. Like
so Megan Megan comes and to the football game, and I'm already sitting there on the bleachers, and her and her date come and they sit down. Well, he says, sit down, like just sit down. And she did.
Well, because he was so tall, what the problem was is like I felt like the people in front of him were like crowding his legs. And so I was trying to like move over and up a seat to make it more comfortable for him. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm doing a good thing.
You're trying to control the situation.
I mean, probably. But, you know.
He's telling you. And then he finally used his dad voice and was like, sit down.
Yeah, like,
and I was
I'm fine.
I just
sat down.
I've never heard a man tell you and you like just, doop, and you were like, just. Okay. I was like, oh, dang. She wanted him to tell her what to do. She ain't never had that before.
I know. I'm like, I've been finding myself like dating. I'm like, say it again. Like when they say something to me that I like, I'm like, say it again. Is that a red flag? I don't know. I'm loving it.
Kind of. I
don't know. Is it a red flag? I have a roster.
Oh. That is I don't think that's a red flag. I think
so. Like I'm not anyone's girlfriend. I'm single.
I think that's the thing that women have not just women. I think I think a lot of women, I'm only going to speak for women because I don't know, but women have a hard time dating, and dating just means like going on dates with multiple people and talking to multiple people until you figure out what you're wanting.
Yeah.
Or you find the right one. We've been a whole wife for a long time,
like
so you don't understand.
Yeah, and the whole loyalty issue for
me.
And
I think like you would connect with somebody and feel a connection, so you would like think that it would be inappropriate to keep texting with somebody or meet them for dinner, even if you weren't like having any kind of physical relationship with them or whatever. You are so loyal that you feel like you're cheating on them.
That would be my wing, is loyal.
Yeah, loyal
on the Enneagram for sure. And so that it was hard for me to get over, and I kept just thinking like, and I am dating with purpose, right? Like I am dating to eventually, hopefully, be a girlfriend again.
Well, in your 40s, you're definitely dating with purpose.
For sure. But like I'm also just learning to have fun, and it feels really good. Like it feels really good.
Yeah.
Like I never thought I would like literally just have fun.
That's what I want to see. I want to see you like just having fun and being carefree.
It is.
And like we always have like fun and carefree moments, but I've always known you like in your marriage, vice versa, right? And we never saw that just like we get glimpses of it, right?
I left the house the other day and I had texted Taryn, like I had cooked him a steak and a baked potato and like your food's in the microwave, and he picked up the phone and immediately called me. And I was like, but he has my location. So he always knows where I'm at. And he goes, where are you going? Like, my food's ready? And I'm like, yeah, it's been ready for an hour. I told you to come down. And he was like, what? And I'm like, I'm just, your mom's just in these streets. And he's like, what? He's like, that is the last thing I want to hear from my mom
Meg in
right
the streets. Meg in the streets.
Yeah, I was just giving a hard time, but I really was in the streets. But it was,
let's see what else is part of your Enneagram.
Oh, I can tell
just
you.
For
I've
fun.
got it here.
Oh, you got it pulled up?
Yeah, I got it. I got it pulled up.
Tell me some of your characteristics or pros or cons.
My behaviors are building and maintaining momentum, completing projects more quickly than others.
Check.
Immediately projecting assertiveness and confidence, working with a sense of urgency, which is totally me. I like go Mach 10 speed always. Drainers. Let's talk about stuff that like drains me, which is totally me because I'm very goal driven. And so it'd be failing to achieve goals, over planning because I'm not like I plan vacations, but at work I'm very fly by the seat of my pants.
You are?
Oh yes, and I love it, and I thrive in that. Like literally, like I
because I feel
this
like you're
and
a
then
planner.
I'm on this. No, not at all.
In life?
No, only on our vacations. Somebody has to do it.
You try to fight that you're a planner, but
not
you
a
are
planner.
deep down a planner.
Well, if I don't plan stuff for us, for me and you and our families, we'll never get anything done. So
Sure,
somebody's got to do
planning
it.
shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. One of us got to do it. So, like, I'm not analytical. Like, I will analyze.
You are numbers and
well, yes, but analytical like means like over analyzing. Like, I'm not going to over analyze things at all. And I'm very quick. Like, if you want to come have a serious conversation with me, like, make it short and sweet. Like, don't
beat around the bush.
Right. And when I want to talk about something, like, I wanted to get it over and done with, like, right then. And that's in a relationship or at work. my blind spots. So I know what my strengths are. I mean, like we already talked about it, taking bold risks, directly stating thoughts and opinions. Of course I am. I'm super direct. I've been told my approach is not great about 1,000,000 times, but what I am learning from that is like things that I've been told over and over by people. Maybe those people were not good people in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they embedded things into my life and made me think that about myself when really it was them projecting onto me.
Yeah.
And so what I've learned is like, I'm not that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not those bad things that they've ingrained into me. So that's been
And a
gross.
lot of it is you're direct about their behavior.
Right. And they don't want to hear
so
the truth.
People don't like that. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
They want you to skirt around it and be
right. And same with goals. Like I'm learning to like even me, you would think that it like, cause I am so outspoken at work, I'm learning to stop apologizing for like, hey, we're in a tough market. Hey, we need to like double down. Hey, this is a growth cycle right now. Like it's time to work. It's time to put it together. So the blind spots is that I may be briefing communication, which I said. I may proceed with action before getting proper approval from authority, which I wouldn't say that because, at work, I'm a rule follower. So like to the T, like I walk a very straight line.
You are a rule follower. I will say that.
And then I may work too quickly through important decisions, which I am. Like I'll blow and go. I'll make a decision in like a heartbeat. And then sometimes sometimes it works in my favor because I'm like 10 steps ahead of the person behind me. And sometimes I crash and burn, and so then I'm like, okay. And I would say like a weakness would be like, especially at work, sometimes I'm like, okay, let's try this. Let's try this. I will try 1,000,000 different things to see what's going to stick.
You're a fixer.
Right. And then once it sticks, then I'm going to double down, triple down on that. So, and those things are, that's kind of like more so in my work life. But, that outspokenness, I'm always telling you, like, used to be a 5 for so many years. I'm like, let my 8 speak for your 5. Now it's let my 8 speak for your 2. Because you're thinking what I will say. You're just not willing to say it. But you're getting better. You're actually getting better.
Thank you. A red flag.
Yeah, you're getting better.
I'm getting better because I'm getting better because I'm sure it has to do with divorce, but I'm also sure it's business, like just changing things and what I went through with all the girls in business and learning like to find my voice. And when I did start speaking up, realizing how much more like quickly things shifted and how much better they were and all that. And my accounts are pounding in my head. People aren't mind readers.
Yeah.
And me just like, because my personality is people pleasing, too much empathy, I don't know, just walking around people and just like putting
On
them
eggshells.
before me.
Yeah. And you can't.
And all that. And I don't know if this is, and I think that's what might be kind of why mine will shift is because I feel like mine is like from my experiences, like life trauma, like bad, like childhood trauma,
of course.
maybe. But I think these are like core and experiences, right? So, I don't know.
I think that like from your childhood for sure, like just from the talks that we've had, like you sitting back and, being quiet because you were around so much chaos for so long. The quiet, you just didn't want to cause any more chaos. And so like you don't want
it was almost like you disappear.
Right. And so then at work, when you're doing a business with your artistic ability and the way that you can draw and how you make women look beautiful all day, every day. You make me look beautiful. Like that is amazing. Like I don't have those skills. So then like you just need the coaching. That's why I'm sitting there like every time in the parking lot between you and Summer, I'm like, okay, now go in here and do this. You've gotten so much better. Like we think about it. We haven't had to have any of those like come to Jesus talks in a while. I'm like, but there for a while, I'll be like, okay, did you say it?
I'll be like,
did you go in there and
I'll
do
be
it?
like, I'm going in, and then I'd come out and be like, tomorrow I'm going to do it.
Summer the same way. And I'll be like,
when I had to fire my first employee, remember how many tries it took
I'm
me?
like, go back in there right now.
I'll be like, we're gonna meet it tomorrow. I just couldn't do
hey,
it.
that's a red flag.
That is a red flag.
Red flag.
That poor girl. I know. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but here's what you got to remember. Like when it comes to work is like, you have to go to work and you don't want to be miserable. And what I've learned is like if one employee or more than one makes me miserable over anything to where I don't want to go to work, no, it's time for them to go.
I truly thought working with women was impossible to have like a good vibe happy environment. Like because it had went on for like so many years, like 8 or 9 years or whatever. And every time I would, get rid of one, it would be a different one, and it would just kind of move around.
Yeah.
And I think I really like had lost hope, but like this time doing it with boundaries and doing it better and having counseling and like all the things, like you can truly like have a good environment. Like me and those girls, like we love each other, we support each other. Everybody comments on how different it feels, how awesome it feels. I had a student private training yesterday, and she was like, I just love like the environment in here.
Right.
And I love hearing that's like the best compliment
And
because
you have
it
a
was so
support
bad.
system too, like inside and outside of there. Do you know what I mean? That makes all of the difference. Like when you have a supportive staff, and then you go home and you're supportive and you have support. So when you're only like getting support from certain areas of your life, like that can
Girl,
like
I'm supported.
Girl, I got your back, girl.
Supported
I got your
up
back.
over here.
Yeah. So, that can make all of the difference.
But I hate the word people pleaser. You know what I mean?
I would not, because look, I tell my girls, having 17 staff, I'm like, look, what you are good at, the person next to you may not be good at. We all serve a purpose in this office, and what one brings to the table, the other person doesn't. So you have to know like what you bring to the table and what you don't. And so like you can't have 17 number 8s in there. Because if you do, it would be a nightmare, right? I need some
We also
8s.
can't have all the 2s either.
Right. And so I need some 8s because I need office managers and sales managers. And I need some 8s, and I need good salespeople.
That's so true.
But I also need some people pleasers to keep the peace.
When I read my Google reviews and my reviews and listen to my clients' comments and all those things, but you'll see all the personality traits in, of my Enneagram that are, me, like what's they're complimenting is like, she makes me feel, it's a warm environment. She makes me feel welcome. She's kind. She's this, she's blah, 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 blah. It's all those things that I think it wasn't, I didn't build my business because I was the best brow artist in the world. I learned it after years and years of muscle memory and doing it many thousands and thousands of times. At first, you're not good. Nobody's good when they first start. But guess what? They all are loyal to me. They love coming back because they know I'm always going to be kind to them. I'm always going to work hard. I'm always going to fit them in. I'm always going to be gracious to them. I'm always going to make sure to make it right. Like
you're selling yourself way too short. And that is a big red flag right now because you are amazing at drawing these on. I don't care because a lot of people...
Now I am.
No, it's not a now because there's nobody else touching this face over here. And there's some people that could like me, I can't even draw a stick figure. So I could sit in there and do it 1,000 times and it'd still be a stick figure. So stop it. Like you're so talented.
Thank you,
artistic.
Megan.
You're
I'll take
welcome.
it.
You take that, girl.
Take that, girl. I'll let you.
I'll red flag your ass.
Let's see what my weaknesses are. Can you guess?
Well, I mean, you need to learn to be a little bit more, like speak up more. You know what I mean? So like, it just depends on the situation.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Go ahead, give it to us.
Taking criticism personally. Oh, I do that. I get like, when I get criticism, I get
you just want to crawl
offended.
in a hole.
I get so like defensive, and I can feel myself doing it and telling myself like, okay, just shut up. Like, just, you don't have to argue about it. Like, just take the criticism. You know what I mean? We all have faults.
Yeah.
You're not perfect. Take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that is a big one. People pleasing is a big one. Difficulty setting boundaries, But
you're getting better with that.
Being needy. I'm needy. I am
really?
needy.
I wouldn't see.
I am deep down, but I don't voice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep down in my core, I'm like, they texting me and telling me I'm pretty right now. It's been 2 hours.
I know. I'm pretty needy
But
too.
I would not be like, where is my,
Yeah.
But I would just like think it. And then when I get it, I'm like, ooh, my cup is like full of good. But I don't like voice it. But I think
me on the other hand, I'm like, you got one more time to not tell me good night and good morning over here. Okay? You got one more time. That's a freaking red flag. And if you don't,
that's a red flag, Megan.
No, it's a red flag if they don't.
You do that?
Yeah, I did it today. Yeah. And guess
You're
what?
needy and vocal.
Yeah. And then they say, good morning.
And confrontational.
Good night. Go figure.
You need to put your Enneagram number on your dating profile.
No, I have too many. I had to get down off that dating
Oh,
program.
you're not on it anymore.
Right now.
Oh,
It's
you're
on pause.
you're all filled
It's
right
on
now.
pause.
You're full. You're too
On
full.
pause.
You have a waiting list right
Yeah.
now.
Got a waiting list.
Oh my
Standing room
gosh.
only.
Standing room only. My strengths are empathy, kindness, desire to help, building relationships, and
That's why I
positive
love you.
attitude. This is why we work so well
I
together.
know.
Because I'll just look at you and you know what I want you to say, and you'll go say it for me. I'll be like, "Can you just do it for me?
Yeah.
Do a little
Yeah.
for me."
Yeah.
And
It's
you
like
do it.
it's like at the circus, and I couldn't even look at your face because every time all we did was laugh. So then I start texting you, and Maddie had your phone and I didn't know, and you're like, she has my phone. I'm like,
I was just making
"Oops."
sure it wasn't inappropriate.
No,
I was
it
like, she
wasn't.
does have my phone.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
I like whenever you spelled out SEX and she said, I can spell, you know.
I'm like, it's okay for you to know. It was for the little one over
She
here.
goes, and I do know what it means now. I was like, what?
Okay, Maddox.
How does she? Oh, I want to know what her Enneagram number is.
Oh, shoot.
What do you think? If you had to take a guess, what do you think?
She's going to be an 8 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. She's ruthless.
She is ruthless.
She's ruthless at 8. I grew into the ruthless. Like, she
So
is
what does
coming
that
out.
mean?
She's going to come work for Aunt Meg. That's what she's going to do.
Gabe all the time is like, I got to try to get her to respect me before she gets taller than me because she can't be taller than me and I have to check her because she's just going to
put the hammer down.
And I'm like, no, she's not. She's like,
not. It's not that she doesn't respect. It's just that she's just
just
outspoken.
She's
you know?
just going to say anything she thinks.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, oh
It's so
my
funny.
goodness.
It is
She's
funny.
always been like that, though. Like, I remember first time I took her to a nail shop and she wanted a heart on her fingernail. And the lady drew the heart and it was semi-crooked.
Yeah.
And she's like, excuse me. Excuse me. And the lady's acting like she doesn't know what she's saying. And she's like, Mom, I keep saying, excuse me. And she's not listening. And so I said, excuse me, she needs to. And I'm like going, just stop. Like, well, I'll get a sticker on the way home. We'll stop at CVS and put a sticker on it. Like, it's fine. Like, shut up. Like, they're fine. But she's so picky, you know, she wants it the way that she wants it. And she is artistic, so she knows how to draw. And, you know, she's like, this is not the kind of heart that I showed you. The lady's like, it's okay. I won't charge you for it. She's like, you can charge me for it. I don't want to wear it like that. Thank you. And I'm like trying to crawl under the pedicure chair. I'm like beet red because it's like me and her is so like, you know, but I do appreciate that about you and I appreciate it about her. And I remember like praying that into her, like when she was little, like all the time, like, Lord, I never thought I was going to have a daughter, but let her be like strong. Let her speak up. Let her be like bold. But I think I might have prayed it like too much. A little bit. And that's when I was thinking that in that pedicure chair. I was like,
it doesn't help the situation when I'm around her. I like egg it on.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, Maddie.
Now at the nail shop, they have her with a specific person that is like the best. So like when her name comes up, they only typically put her with them because she comes in with her Pinterest board and her inspiration ideas. Yeah. And they talk about it and they decide. And she's just not your typical little 11-year-old. And she's been doing that since she was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
4, probably Spencer's age or littler.
Yeah.
It's always been our thing.
Yeah.
She's getting expensive. They get expensive.
I know.
Yeah. So
this is a good
I suggest
one.
anybody do the Enneagram.
Yeah, I do too. Because it can help you literally, like, it can help you in business. I liked it in business.
It really helped me. Like, you can sign up on certain websites where
it can help with your kids.
You send it to each employee and it will send it back to you and give you advice on, like, with yours and theirs, like how you motivate them, how you inspire them, how you can sell them. Like, you can do it for, like, if you knew your client's Enneagram number, you would know what words, like, to say to them that would make them want that cell. Like you can get like so like detailed on there, and it's very accurate.
Right.
Yeah. The Myers-Briggs one is a really good one too. I've done that one. That one's a little more.
I like the one that you sent us because to retake it because it was short and sweet.
Yeah.
So it was like.
Yeah. So a lot of them charge you. You don't have to pay for that, but you can just Google
free.
like a free one and do like a little free version or whatever. You can kind of tell when you're reading them like who you are, but the test always is really cool, and it kind of tells you like the other one that you're closest to, and they're pretty accurate too. So that was fun.
Well, I want to mention, can we get you guys to actually subscribe to us on YouTube? Okay. We want you to subscribe to Got Her Back Podcast and subscribe on Apple and Spotify. We'd like for you to subscribe on all 3 platforms just to help to get our numbers up. We really appreciate that.
Yes.
And then follow us on Meg's Unfiltered.
Inspired by Carrie.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the things.
Got Her Back Podcast.
There you go.
That was fun.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.